But yeah, come to your back right now. Welcome everybody to Wednesday Night Yin. If you're watching us at home, we're finally here. We're going to start on the back. Let everything start to open up and relax. All right, maybe you want to bend your knees while you're in the back. Maybe you want to butterfly your legs. You want to take your arms out and open them up. Do whatever feels good to you here as we get started. I'm going to make this a little bit brighter so that you all can see me. There we go. Take your first few moments just to arrive. To notice your breath. You have to control it, it's yin, right? But observe your breath. Categorize it. Notice how deep or how shallow those breaths are, how fast or how slow they're coming. Feel them as you take them, right? That breath awareness is going to translate to body awareness, and that's the best thing in yin yoga can do for you. Is just make you more aware of what's going on with your body. All right, you guys keep flying. I'm gonna get some music going. Yourself start to feel heavy here. Everything that's touching the mat is just sinking into it. So when we say that we're doing yin yoga, right? Yin comes from the ancient Taoist concept of yin and yang, right? We've all heard that. And yang relates to movements that generate heat, right? In our use of the words, right? So anytime we're doing like power yoga and those sun salutations, those vinyasa flows, right? That all generates heat. Those are all yang movements. But in yin, right? It's about finding stillness and cooling the body. So you want to find that coolness. Obviously, the theory of yin yang is that you need both to bring balance into your life, right? So you do that slow flow or power yoga, really yang class, and then you balance it out with a yin class, right? Where you're cooling and stretching. Few more breaths here. Letting that coolness and stillness come to your body. you're ready to start moving here, right? Take your knees, hug them into your chest. And we're just going to kind of rock from side to side here. You want to feel that sacrum pressing into that, kind of like we do Happy Baby. You're giving yourself that little spinal massage. And then from there, take your hands to the crease of your knees. You're going to rock yourself up here. We're going to come into easy sit. All right? So that's that crisscross pose. Doesn't matter which leg is in front right now. We're going to do both legs here at first. All right? So what you're going to do at the beginning, you're just going to sweep your hands up to the sky. Reach your fingertips up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, just drop your right hand to your right side. Reach your left hand up and over. Right? So we're taking a little side bend. And as you inhale, rise back up. As you exhale, now you're going to drop your left hand. Reach your right hand up and over. Did I say that? Drop your left hand, reach your right hand up. Yeah, I said that right. Okay. Inhale, come back up. Just do that a couple more times each way, right? Lean to the right. Come back up. A lot of what we do tonight is going to be about the shoulders, so we're trying to open them up, wake them up a little bit here. Do it one more time each way. To the right. Up. And then to the left. And rise back up. Now, reach your hands up high. Turn your palms towards the front of the room, right? And just drop your hands down in front of your shins and just walk forward here. This, we're opening the hips a little bit. Maybe you can get your elbows to come down to the mat. Maybe not. Maybe all you can do is get your hands just in front of your shins. That's fine. One more breath here. And then walk it back in. As you walk all the way back in here, we're going to switch our legs. You're going to bring that opposite leg in front, right? So it's the more awkward leg. It's the leg your body didn't naturally want to put in front of your body, but we're going to keep it here while we do this next little part, and then we're going to fold over it so that we even out our hips. So here as you inhale, sweep your hands up to the sky. As you exhale this time, we're just going to take a little twist to the right. Right? Get into that core. Let your left hand or right hand come back behind you. Let your left hand come outside your right knee. Look over your right shoulder. So take a little twist here, and then untwist. Bring your hands up, lengthen out, and then go the other way. Drop your left hand back behind your left hip, right hand outside your left knee. Look over your left shoulder. Come back up and lengthen out, and just do that a couple more times each way. To the right. Back up. To the left. Back up. One more time each way. To the right. And up. To the left. And up. Now, this time as you come up, you're going to turn your palms back towards the front of the room again. Drop your hands down in front of your shins again and walk it out here. You want to keep those hips on the ground. I'm going to feel that pull in them, but walk your hands as far forward as you can. Otherwise, if you can get down to your elbows, go for it. That might not be possible here on this awkward side, but maybe since we've already been moving a little bit, you're able to get there. Just take 3 breaths here. And then let yourself back up here. Now as we walk all the way back up, we're going to switch our position here, and we're going to come into either a high kneel or a low kneel, all right? So high kneel, or ideally we're going to come to low kneel. So let me show you low kneel here first. You're on your knees, and you sit back, you bring your hips over your heels, so you look like this, right? Sit down on your heels. Now if that's not available to you, right, it's an extreme bend in the knees, you're not comfortable to you, then you're going to come to high kneel, where you're just kneeling on your mat, and you look like this. If you need a blanket under your knees, go ahead and put one there. Now what we're going to do from here, I'm going to turn around and take off my black sweater so that you guys can maybe actually see what I'm doing, right? So I'm going to turn around so they can see me in the camera, you guys can all see me here. We're going to try to bring our hands into reverse namaste, right? So that means that they come behind you, you bring your palms together, and then you bend into your elbows, slide your hands up so that your pinky fingers are between your shoulder blades and your thumbs are out to the sides, right? And you're pulling your shoulder blades together. And you're just coming right here, right? Maybe you're doing this in low kneel. Now, if you need to, right, if you can't get your arms to reverse namaste all the way, maybe you just grab those opposite shoulders or opposite elbows. Right hand grabs the left elbow, left hand grabs the right elbow, or maybe you just have your hands interlaced together and pushing them towards the floor, right? The key here is to pull the shoulder blades together and open the chest. All right, so once you've found your spot here, first you're gonna sit right here like this, letting your elbows go out, pulling the shoulder blades together, open the chest for another 5 or 6 breaths. Now, whether you're in high kneel or low kneel, right, keep pulling your shoulder blades together, but start to lean back a little bit so that your chest goes up to the sky, right? So this is what I look like as I'm in low kneel. I'm leaning back, looking up. If you're up in high kneel, right, it's the same. You just won't go as far back. If you're in high kneel, you're going to push your hips forward so your back can arch and your chest can open. And take another 5 or 6 breaths right there. And then slowly come back up and release your hands. Just let your hands come to your sides. Relax down here. If you need to drop your hips to one side or the other, you can. Now what we're going to do from here, right, we're just coming into a little hero. So if you're in low kneel, everybody should grab their block because you're probably going to want to use it, right? I'm going to turn sideways here. Maybe I'll turn on the ground so you guys can see. All right, here we go. So I'm lifting my hips up and I'm taking my feet apart. My knees are still together. And now ideally what you want to do is let your hips come down so your hips land on the ground in between your heels, right? So I'm right here. I don't know if you guys can tell, my hips didn't quite get all the way to the ground here, right? Although it feels okay in my knees, but I really can't push my hips all the way down. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my block underneath my hips and sit like this, right? I've got the block at the medium level. You could have it at the high level. You could have it at the low level. If you can get all the way down, your hips come right between your heels. You can see at least one person in class who can do that, right? Then you go for it. Right, your hands are going to slide forward. Bring them all the way to your knees. Your hands are a little bit engaged. Right now I'm going to turn around so you can see me the other way. If I'm here, sit on my block. Knees are together. My hands are all the way engaged. It's like I'm pushing my knees away from me as I sit up tall. Right, and just stay here for 5 breaths. And then from here, slowly come all the way forward. Bring it into tabletop. Right, so you can kick that block out of the way. Just come into a normal tabletop and just sway your hips a couple times from side to side, like you're wagging your tail. All right, now from here, we're going to bring it back. Again, you're going to come either into high or low kneel, and we're going to focus on the arms again, right? So you're bringing your knees together. Now your feet are coming together, so you're not trying to sit in between your heels like we just did in hero, right? You're just trying to sit back on your heels. Low kneel. If that's not good, come all the way to high kneel, right? Because this is about the arms here. Right, so take your arms out to a T. We got to do this on both sides. We're going to come to eagle arms. Most of you know what that is. What you're going to do here, you're going to bring your arms in front of you. Let your right arm cross underneath your left, right? And then you're going to wrap your arms up. Now, that might just mean, if you don't have a lot of flexibility, that you're grabbing your opposite elbows or opposite shoulders with your opposite hand. maybe you can come here where your back with your palm, the back of your hand is to the back of your hand. Maybe you can do a little double wrap and get it to be where it's palm to palm. Now I feel like my arms are right in front of my face. I can't see around. I'm seeing the camera, right? But you can see me probably just fine. All right, now wherever you are here, lift the elbows up and away from your body. I want you to just hold right there, right? We do this all the time in vinyasa class. Usually we're doing something else crazy with our legs, and we're back bending just for a breath or two. Here we got to hold it for 6 breaths. And you really start to feel that sensation go through the shoulders. Let's take 4 more breaths here. Release your arms here. Take them out long again. Right, and now we're going to do that again, but we're going to go the other way. So as you cross them back in front of you, now bring your left arm underneath your right. And again, maybe it's here. Maybe it's here. Right, maybe you can get the double wrap. I can do the double wrap much easier on this side than I could on the other side. Right, so that's what I'm going to do. Like I said, if you're just grabbing your shoulders, you look like this. Wherever you are, lifting those elbows up and away from your body, looking up. Looking up towards the ceiling, you're taking your elbows as high as you can, taking them as far away from your body as you can while keeping the eagle wrap. Take 6 breaths here. And then unwind your arms here. Let everything relax down. Come back into your tabletop, right? And this time, from your tabletop, just do a couple cat-cows as you inhale, lift your chin up to the sky and tuck your tailbone under. Let your belly drop. As you exhale, tuck your chin to your chest, round out your back. Now, from your tabletop, here's me turn around again one more time, right? We're going to come into our shoelace pose. There's lots of different variations from this. Maybe you can get here from tabletop, which is why I'm coming here, but maybe not, right? We're going to see. You're going to take your left knee, lift it up, cross it over so that it comes outside your right knee. So you cross your knees, right? And then you're taking your ankles as far away from your body as you can, right? Then you're going to try to bring your hips back. So let your hips sit in between your ankles. So see how that feels. I'm going to turn around here so you can see what I looked like when I got all the way into it. Right, from that way. You can get into it from different ways if you want to, right? But I'm here. I've got my ankles on either side of my hips. I'm trying to get my knees to stack on much on top of each other as they can. Now, it's possible that you got to a place and you are just in torture here, right? And you're like, I don't even know how she is sitting there at all, right? If that's you, it's okay. You have other options. You're not going to stay here the whole time. You can put your right foot flat on the ground so you end up looking like this, right? That's fine. Or you can come back to easy sit if you need to. Just make sure that your right leg is the one in front, whether it's your awkward leg or your more regular leg, right? Those are all the options. Find what feels the best to you, right? Now, wherever you are, whether you're in easy sit, or you've got that right foot planted on the ground, or you're here in the full shoelace, I want you to grab your opposite ankle with your opposite hand, right? So you're grabbing your right ankle with your left hand and your left ankle with your right hand. They're just on the opposite sides of your body, right? And then push into those ankles, right? Let your elbows bend and lean forward. So like this, right? So this is me in the full shoelace. If I had my right foot planted on the ground, it would be the same. I let my elbows go out to the side and press my chest to my right thigh. If I'm an easy sit, right, it's still the same thing. Taking my hands to my ankles and lean forward. Try to feel your shoulder blades kind of pull together even as you're pressing your hands into your ankles. You're pulling your shoulder blades together behind your back and you're pressing your chest forward. So even as you're leaning forward and getting that little sensation in your hips, You're also opening your chest. Hopefully that's making sense. Let's take 6 more breaths here. And now let yourself slowly come back up, right? And now, if you can, you'll come right back into tabletop just by rolling over your knees, right? And then stepping that left foot back over the right, and you're back in tabletop. Otherwise, you unwind your legs first and bring it back into tabletop. Now, we're gonna do that again. We're gonna do the other side. So you're gonna take your right knee this time, lift it up, take it to the outside of your left knee, and then move those heels or those ankles, however you want to think of it, as far away from your body as you can, right? And then walk yourself back so that your hips land down inside your ankles, right? And now you've got that left knee stacked on top of the right. I'm not as great on this side, bigger space, it's okay. I can hang out here, it feels all right, so I'm gonna stay right here. But if you need to, you can plant that left foot on the ground, so it looks like this, or you just come in full easy sit and it looks like this, right? And then you're gonna grab your ankles, let those elbows go to the sides as you pull your shoulder blades back. So it's almost like your elbows start to point a little bit towards the back of the room, and you lean forward, as far forward as you can. Right, this is me doing an easy sit. Right, you're still looking up towards the front of the room. Right, you're not turning around down because then your shoulders will round down. Right, so look up as you pull your shoulder blades back, even as you try to press your belly to your left thigh. And maybe you've got that left foot planted, and look like this. Or maybe you're in that full shoelace and it looks like this. If you are, we're going to take 6 more breaths here.
Pretty weird, Bob.
What?
Weird.
Are you feeling something? If you're feeling sensation, it's good, right? We've done this shoelace pose a million times before, right? It's a hip opener, and you're going to feel it there. We're just adding on, right? We're trying to open that chest, adding that shoulder, just adding a little extra to it, right? So it's a different variation. Take 3 more breaths. And slowly bring yourself back up. Now, you don't have to go into tabletop here, right? We're just gonna unwind our legs. Now, I'm gonna give you the choice for this next one, right? You can do it just with your legs extended out long in front of you, right? So you're in the seated position. You're gonna have that core strength to keep your shoulders over your wrists, sit up nice and tall. We're gonna move our arms here. If you wanna do it again from high or low kneel, right, then you'll be here, right? The movement's all gonna come from our arms. So if you feel like your legs have been crunched up and you wanna extend them long in front of you, that's fine. If it feels more comfortable to here in high or low kneel, then come here, right? Now, you're gonna take your arms both out to the side, right? So this time I'm gonna bring my right arm across my body, right? So now my right fingertips are reaching towards the left side of the room. I'm gonna take my left hand. Here's your options. This is what I like to do, is grab underneath my right shoulder. So I'm supporting that right shoulder, supporting the joint, which is always important in yin. As I pull that right arm further, I'm pulling it in towards my body so my right fingertips can reach further towards the right side of the room. Maybe you wanna take it so that your left elbow slides up underneath your right, and then you look like this. You're using your elbow to pull that arm in and reach further, right? Maybe you just grab on to your right wrist and pull. Right? These are all good options. You find what feels the best to you. Now release your arm, let it come down, Let your hands dangle for a second wherever you are, right? We're gonna do that one more time. I'm gonna switch it this time. I'm gonna take my legs in front of me. You can stay where you are. If you wanna switch up your leg position, go for it. But we're gonna do our left arm this time, right? So I'm bringing my arms out to a T. That left arm is gonna start to reach across. My left fingertips are reaching towards the right side of the room. You can take your right hand and either support underneath that left elbow with your right hand as you pull it further across. Maybe you go elbow to elbow, right? Or maybe you're just grabbing your left wrist and pulling. Two more breaths here. And now you're going to release your hands, right? Again, it doesn't matter if you're here with your legs extended in front of you, if you're in high kneel or low kneel. We're going to take some swims here, right? So you're going to sweep your hands back and you're just swimming around. I'm going to do that 3 or 4 times. Make the strokes as big as you possibly can. And then after you do this next one, see if you can reverse directions, take them the other way. Like you're doing a little backstroke. Last one. Come to a stop here. Now, you're going to bend. If you're in high kneel or low kneel, right, let your hips come down. We're all going to sit here in this hook line. That means that you're sitting on the ground, but you're going to bend into your knees. Put your feet on the ground so your toes are at the top of your mat or facing the top of your mat, right? Let your hands come back behind you so they're supporting you a little bit. Now I have my fingers turned out to the sides right now, if you can see. You can have your fingers turned totally to the back if that feels better, or you can have them turned totally to the front if that feels better, right? And what you're going to do here, you're going to pull your shoulder blades together, push your chest up towards the ceiling, take your chin and your gaze up towards the ceiling. Right? This has a technical name, which I can't remember, but I always call it trucker girl pose, right? It's like on the mud flap of the truck. The girl's sitting like that. That's what you're doing. One more breath here. And then push yourself all the way up. Now bring your belly till it touches your thighs. Take your hands and wrap them around your shins. Tuck your chin to your chest and drive your forehead towards your knees. So you are taking a round here. Loosen the tension in your neck, in your low back, in your hip flexors. And then when you're ready, we're going to make our way around now. One last time, we're going to come back into that kneeling pose. This time, we're all going to come into high kneel. It's a little bit easier. If you need your blanket underneath your knees, you can put it there. Otherwise, you're just kneeling up nice and tall. Now, I'm going to turn sideways here so you can see what's going on. We're going to come into a half camel. So I'm going to take my right hand, right? And I can just put it here on my low back, right? So my right elbow is pointed towards the back of the room. Or I can start to lean back. Maybe I can slide it down so it's on my thigh or on my right calf, or maybe you can reach all the way to your right ankle. Maybe you want to tuck your toes, then your ankle comes up a couple inches and it's easier to touch. Wherever you are, all good. Now take your left hand, reach it up to the sky. Reach your left fingertips over your right shoulder and look over your right shoulder. As you're here, pull it around so you guys can see. This is me. I have my hand all the way, my flat-footed right heel, and my toe tucked right heel. Ready? Bring that hand to my right calf, to my right thigh, to my right glute, or my low back. Remember, works for you. Take 4 more breaths here. From there, sweep both hands up to the sky. Just reach up high. Interlace your hands overhead, right? Interlace your fingertips, and then push your palms up to the ceiling. So as we're doing this, right, now you're just going to drop your hands in front of you. Push them forward. Tuck your chin to your chest. Take 4 more breaths here. Just pushing those palms forward, really tucking that chin so you're looking down at the ground, but not letting your hands float down, right? They're pushing straight forward. 2 more breaths. And then bring your hands all the way up again. Now we release them. And let your left hand start to come down. Now your left hand's gonna go, again, it's either here on your low back, maybe it's down on your thigh, maybe you can lean back enough to get it to your right calf or your right heel. Maybe tuck your toes under and get it to your heel. Take that right hand up to the sky and then reach your right fingertips back over your left shoulder. More breaths. And then from here, come all the way back up to that high heel. Reach your arms up overhead. Now, we're going to dive down. You're going to come into your child's pose. So let your hips land over your heels. Come all the way forward. Let your hands come down to the mat. If you can get those hips onto the heels, push them all the way back. If they're up a little bit, it's okay. You can take your knees wider so that your belly drops between your knees and you get your head down to the mat. Or maybe you keep your knees together and your belly rests on your knees and you can get your head to the mat. If you can't get your head to the mat, block is your friend. Head land on the block. So find your spot here. We're just going to stay in this full child's pose for a minute or so. Should feel good after everything we did. Maybe you want to change your hands a little bit. We're going to move the arms again in a minute. But if you want to swing back behind you towards your heels for a few breaths, do that. Right, look like this. If you want to take them to the sides, or just breathe them in front of you, whatever feels right. right, now from here, bring it back up into your tabletop. And then you're gonna keep from your tabletop, right? Walking your hands forward, keep your shoulders, not your shoulders, keep your hips over your knees, right? Walk your hands out as far as you can. And then see if you can let your head come down between your shoulder blades. You're trying to look to get your head all the way down to the mat, right? So your hips are down on your heels, they're over your knees. Your elbows are on the mat, your elbows are elevated, right? Your head is down on the mat. You can use your block again to help you. If you need to, you can land your head on the block. Right, so we're trying to open up the arms here. This is melting heart pose, one of my favorites, right? Because you're opening up that chest, that heart center as you come into this. So, right? If you have to, you can let your elbows relax down. It's going to take a little bit out of the stretch, but it's okay, right? But the further you walk your hands forward, the more you can keep your elbows elevated, the more you're going to feel this. Take 2 more breaths here. Now what you're going to do here, right? Your arms are still elevated. Take your right hand, pull it back towards you so your elbow's bending. Turn your right fingertips towards the left side of the room. And then just slide that right arm all the way underneath your left armpit. Let your head come down to the ground. So now you're looking to the left, right? So you came down to the right side of your head and you're looking to the left, watching your right fingertips as they go over to the left. That left arm is still reaching long, ideally with that left elbow up off the mat. Now, when you're ready here, slide that right hand out from underneath you, and then take it all the way along again. Come back into that melting heart. Now we're going to go the other way. So you're going to draw that left hand back towards you, bend into your left elbow, turn your left fingertips towards the right side of the room, and then slide that left hand all the way underneath your right armpit. Let your head come down. You're on the left side of your head, looking to the right, underneath your right armpit, towards your left fingertips. Four more breaths here. And when you're ready, left hand out from underneath you. Reach it forward again, right? And then from here, just pull yourself all the way back up. We're gonna come up into tabletop. Now, this time as we come to tabletop, let your hips come to one side or the other. Swing your legs around in front of you. We're gonna lay all the way down on our back here. So bring your toes to the very top of your mat. With your knees up to the sky. Take your arms that long, tuck the chin to your chest, and just round yourself all the way down to your leg on your back, right? Now, we're gonna come into kind of like a hybrid eye of the needle paper clip here. You're gonna pick your right foot up, cross your right knee over your left. Now I want you to cross at the knees here, right? And then take your left foot up off the ground. Just start to draw both knees towards you, right? And then grab on to your right knee. That should be your top knee, the one that's closer to your body, with your left hand, and your right knee with your left hand. And then just start to pull those knees in closer towards you, right? If we were in full paper clip, we'd take the ankles and pull them away, right? But we're trying to open the chest a little bit more by grabbing the knees and letting the elbows bend and just pulling those knees in. You're still gonna feel it in your right hip. You should still feel some sensation going on there. A little bit gentler, a little less yang, more yin, right? Like we talked about earlier. So take a minute here. Right, now from here, release your knees. Now let your arms go out to a T. You still got those knees to your chest. Let both knees fall over to the left. Right? So your knees are going over to the left. So kind of using that right knee. Pull that left knee down. You're looking over your right shoulder. If you want to take your left hand and press on the top of that right knee, press those knees closer to the earth, you can do that. You don't have to keep those arms out long. You definitely want to keep that right arm open and that right shoulder anchored. Get the full benefit of the twist. Take 3 more breaths. And then as you inhale, bring those knees back up to center. Now we're going to switch everything out. So you're going to take your right foot, put it back on the ground, right? And then pick up your left foot and just take your left knee, cross it over your right. So your knees are crossing. Pick your right foot up off the floor, draw those knees in towards your chest. And then from here, you're going to grab your left knee, the one closer to your body with your right hand, your right knee with your left hand, and just pull those knees in a little bit more towards your body. Get that sensation going in your left hip. release your arms here, take them out long in that T position, and you're going to let your knees both fall over to the right. Again, if you want to take your right hand and kind of press down that left knee, get a little closer to the ground if you can. Your gaze should be going over your left shoulder, left arm open wide, and that left shoulder is anchored to the ground. When you're ready here, we're going to pull everything back up to center one last time. Now take your left foot, put it down on the mat. Your arms are going to stay out wide now. And totally your feet out wide to the edges of your mat. And just windshield wiper a couple times here. Let both knees drop to the right, pull up to center, drop to the left. One last time, releasing any remaining tension in your legs. When you're ready to come to a stop, come to a stop. And then we're going to start to set up for our final pose here, our Shavasana. Right? So you can lay on your back with your hands at your sides if that's not comfortable to you. Don't stay there. If you're here in the studio and you have a towel, I'll come around and give you a little spray on it so you can put that towel over your eyes. If you're at home and you have some sort of towel or shirt or something, you can put over your eyes. Do that, right? It'll make your Shavasana a little bit better. If you don't have anything, just close your eyes. Now, I told you all to go flat to your back, right? You don't have to stay flat on your back if that's not what's comfortable to you. You want to bend your knees or butterfly your legs. Take your arms and feet away from your body in that pinnacle pose. Maybe you need to roll to your belly or to your side. Maybe you need to sit up. You want to find that comfortable place for you, where you're going to be comfortable, where you're going to be able to stay still, where your mind is going to be able to go quiet. It's not always flat on your back. That's okay. Find that position of comfort. And then allow your breath now to take you to that quiet of the mind. You're still not trying to control your breath. Letting it do its thing. But you've got your complete focus on it. You're still noticing it, still observing it. That's how it can begin to guide you. When you truly master that. Keeping your focus on your breath, even as you're not controlling your breath. Your breath can guide you right to a place where there's nothing left in your mind but you and your breath. That's your true quiet of mind. slowly start to come back into the room. Wiggle your fingers, your toes. Feel that anchor sensation that comes with a quiet mind. If you want to here, you can take your arms up overhead. Do a nice full, deep body stretch. There, just roll over onto your right side in a fetal position. Take a couple breaths right there. Just reacclimate to our space. Take as long as you need. When you're ready, only when you're ready, push yourself up to seated, and we'll close here. So we're going to close with two Bhamari breaths and then an Om. The Bhamari breath, we inhale as we exhale, make that humming sound in the back of the throat, and then the Om is the universal syllable, uses all parts of the throat. You can join me in these breaths, so you can just listen. But let's close our eyes here. We'll inhale together. Inhaling again. And then we'll inhale one final time and Om. Your eyes drift open. Bring your hands to heart center. Thank you, all of you, for sharing your energy, your practice with me this evening. The light in me honors the light in each of you. Namaste. All right, just a general announcement for everybody at home and everybody here in the studio. We won't have this class next week, which will be the Wednesday night right before Thanksgiving, right? So we won't be here that night. I will be here at 9 a.m. that morning to do some slow flow since Dawn's out of town. So if you need to get one last workout in before Thanksgiving, I'm here at 9 a.m. on Wednesday morning next week to do slow flow. And then we're going to be closed Thursday, Friday, and Saturday that week, right? So no Saturday class either, no Friday class. On Sunday morning, I'll be back for gentle, right? And it should be posted on the website. It's here on the door of the studio. Take a picture if you need to. Right? And I will see you guys all this Saturday for some slow flow, all right? But next week, Wednesday morning, slow flow, no Wednesday night yet, all right? Have a great week, everybody. Bye.